All right, so my name is Chad. I'll be presenting my project. Let me share my screen. All right, so EDU 290 Service Learning Project and the final presentation. Make it bigger so everyone can see. Okay, there it is. So as I said, EDU 290 Service Learning Project, final presentation. So for my final presentation, I did math and literacy toolkit for future learners. Ethics in education, professor is Ms. Morales. Project overview. So I decided to host a math and literacy toolkit for future learners as my community project. This is very beneficial to parents, students, and a lot of next generation students. So actually, parents for overview for this project is parents can see where their child is at, what grade level they are at, and what kind of resources they might need if they're struggling in some of the areas in academic. And the question comes, why is it important to have this kind of math literacy, writing support services available in diverse communities? And how will this kind of service impact the future learners to be successful? So my community service project is it's more of like a game changer of the city of Auburn, Gresham. I will provide impactful services to those parents who can't afford um, to put their child in a like tutoring program or like any paid tutoring programs. And most likely that around that community, there are resources, but they are very limited. And also those resources, you have to pay monthly fee for it. So um, when I hosted my service, it was more of a free volunteer services in math and fluency and writing. A lot of parents were surprised to see this volunteer service available at my school. Um, because, like I said, there's a limited resource around that community. Um, in Dallas community, there are not many resources, free service available for student who needs academic support. So that's a big, my service was a more of a game changer in that community. Um, Initial goals and planning, goal setting and planning. My biggest goal for this service was a helping students and who's not getting that one-on-one support in their classroom. And also, it's followed by my other goal was that to raise concern in the Darius community to provide this kind of service. Like I said, it was limited service in that community. So using my community service as a voice in that community, raising concern that we need this kind of service in that community, especially the school I work with. We don't have any voluntary voluntary service after school programs. So for my planning, I use SMART goals. SMART S stands for Pacific. M is meaningful, A is actionable, R is realistic, and T stands for timely. So for Pacific, what I stated was I want to provide service for scholars who are struggling in math and writing. And for my meaningful, I stated that this goal is important to me because we don't have any free services in that community to help scholars who are struggling in different kind of section of subjects, like academic subjects. A, I put as actionable. I will when I provide an action, I will say that I will talk to my principal regarding my vision of this service and allow me to host it in school ground. And I'll also talk to my colleagues to send home a flyer with all the student who needs extra support to join my services. And R, I said realistic, I will do fully 8 weeks, even though it was between 6 to 8 weeks. So I did I did fully 8 week service to help scholar with hands-on support, more of a center learning support that includes problem solving, critical thinking, fun activities, and parents' night. Timely, by end of the week 8, I also will conduct a feedback from parents and hear their voice regarding this service and bring that concern to board meeting, or I'll bring that concern to the board meeting if I have to use my voice, and to have this kind of resources available in every Dallas community schools. Uh, Let me see. Wait, I'm sorry, it's not working or what? Oh yeah. On a second, I apologize. My computer is acting a little weird. Doesn't want to go to the next slide. Come on. All right, so this is my map of research demographics. So on the middle, the theme was a provide the service to those, mainly focused on a low-income families, targeted age group between K to 4 graders. Um, I hosted my community service in the diverse community, and I also targeted kids who are bilingual, who speaks two different languages or multi languages. And I also did a income data that in that community where a community of Iburn Gresham, if I'm saying it right, that shows about family makes about 15 to 20,000 a year. That's pretty low. Um, like especially comes to like different compared to different cities around that community. So a little bit about Iburn Gresham is a diverse community. 93% of population is African American and 7% is Hispanic. The poverty rate is 55%, and most of the family lives in a rented homes. The neighborhood also has a high poverty rate with 55% of its residents experience low income. And I have multiple scholars who lives in that community, and I know that most of the families that are very low income and they are living in a rented home, and um, also not a lot of resources available in that community. And that brings me to next right here. The population in that city is 45,000 residents. The key the key the key statistic highlights a high ownership rate, a median household income below the national average, and significant historical population shifts. Education is about 86.3%, which is a great sign. But also, I would see that if you have this kind of resource, this number would be around like 97 to 98%. Um, but that's if there's resources like voluntary resource available for scholars in the community. Okay, so all right, so that brings me to my next slide, community research context and needs. So Auburn Gresham it's on the south side of Chicago. Historically, a significant neighborhood known for a strong sense of community and rich cultural legacy. Created first in mid-late 19th century, significant changes in its population have occurred, especially since mid 1900s, when African Americans began to move there. It is essential to comprehend this its past in order to put the dynamics and difficulties facing the community now in perspective. Um, the important issues like public safety, healthcare, inequalities, access of high quality education, and economic development are frequently identified in Auburn Gresham research. But there are, however, many positive aspects to the community as whole, such as robust culture, cultural life, its resilient populace, and its strong local institutions, and its active community organization. The success of community development is innate, innate hangs on identifying and making most of these assets. The goal of community research should be informed and support community-driven projects like influencing high quality education and providing free services in after-school programs, and needs positive change around the communities that can provide the needs of young scholars to participate in educational system. Bingo right there. So if you focus on the last information on this slide, it's more of like I stated, limited resources, and they need to bring a positive change around that community. Because when I was doing my research, I could not find any a resource that can help students and around the community to get any free services. But I know that some of the school might have after school programs like gentlemen clubs or any clubs or music or other things, but I didn't find anything that actually can help students in a education form, and that right there needs to be changed in that community. So I'll go to my next slide. All right, so description of 8-week project, math and literacy toolkit. So the first thing I did was I posted a information on my class dojo, which is I had to get approval from my principal before I did that. But I also able to talk to my principal if I can host my community project in school grounds, which she later on approved. And so little about this 8-week project. So what I did was I posted a poster or flyer on a class dojo, and I also got a permission from parents to take pictures for some of the child who can support my project if they're doing something and working or anything. So that was a good thing. So for first 2 weeks, what we did was that we read a book called The Volcanic Eruption, and this one was picked by them. I had multiple, so I had two different sections where I have a full group of scholars from fourth graders, and I have multiple scholars who are from K to second grade. So I had to separate them and with the separate books. So the fourth graders ended up picking the book called The Volcanic Eruption, and the first and the second grade end up picking a book, The Spelling Bee. So the first 2 weeks we did the volcanic eruption, and same thing as we did for the K to first grade and second grade, we did a spelling bee book. Week 3 we did for first and second grade, I did was a addition and subtraction 2-digit numbers, and a sixth and seventh week I did mathematics. In mathematics, I did addition, subtraction, 2-digit numbers by showing various ways to solve. And week 8 we did a family night succeeded by spelling bee competition. So this is more of like an overview of the project. The thing is that I wasn't expecting the fourth graders to join in, but because of I am only one person, so I cannot split myself in a half and provide different different literacy things. So I end up making making it work. They were doing something different. The other kids were doing something different. So it was like back and forth, going back and forth and supporting each of the scholars so they can learn and get a profound skills. Okay, let's see next one. Okay, so documented community impact. So I have about 12 scholars in my community project. And like I said, I had to reach out to my principal to get her approval um, to do my community service. So I picked Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 4 to 5 every week. That's about, I think, 24 hours to complete my service, provide my high quality service for my scholars. And also, I listen to parents concerned about the limited resources that is applied at my school. So, so witnessing the free after school academic support on their views, it kind of opened their views on the needs in the school. So, like I stated before, that we don't have a lot of resources at my school, not a lot of after school programs, and the mainly that we are missing right now is academic support. So, a lot of parents' concern was that I think this kind of like this support right here um, helps them to understand that we need this kind of resource for their child so they can get a good quality education. And my community service, math and literacy for future success projects provided free after school academic support, which highlighted the limited resources in my school and positively impacted the scholar that I served. Yes, so I seen a lot of growth in these kids, especially in math and writing. And reading was a little difficult for my first and second graders. Um, Not because of that that I wasn't doing that, but I wasn't doing my job. But it's just that that they need more support. They're more of like a one-on-one. But we did best we could, and they were making a lot of growth by end of the week 8. Let's see next. Collaboration and organization. So I was able to collaborate with my principal at Learn Hunter Perkins Elementary School to host my community project in the building ground. And a little bit about Learn Charter School is it's located in Urban Gresham. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Community that provides a rich, high quality education from K to ninth grade. Um, I will also provide 8 weeks of volunteer service to scholars who are struggling in reading, math, and writing. So, like I stated before, that I had a 4 scholars from 4th grade. So I kind of like put them in a group. I put everyone in the group. So group 1 and 2. So the reason I did that is that it will help them to communicate, critical thinking, and problem solving, so they can socialize and help each other. So we read a volcanic eruption book and fill out questions as we read. And my group 3 through 5, that's grade first and second, uh, will read a spelling bee book. And for math portion, we did adding and subtracting using different method. And for writing part, we did side words, and also fill out questionnaires as we read and work on Amplify and iReady work. So what I did was that while I teach support group 1 and 2, I have them get on Amplify to read their book and answer questions. And once I'm done with 4th graders, I switch them off to Amplify and support the group 3 to 5 with their questionnaires, and we read books and side words. So that's that. Okay, so next slide, we'll talk about course concept application. Ethics in action. So my definition for second, I'm sorry, I need to move this little tab here so I can read. So my definition, ethics in action, is ethics in action means putting moral principles and ideals into practice in real life, which helps people to make decisions and act in a way they are fair, honest, and responsible. So, my project amplifies ethics in action by prioritizing the well being and educational needs for all children, ensuring that every scholar, every choice is made in their best interest, creating a secure and welcoming learning environment. Protecting students' privacy and dealing with any bias or discrimination are all part of this. And this right here, that kind of like aligns with like how multiple parents didn't want their child to take a picture because of and I respect that. I respect their privacy. I respect their space. So that kind of hinders in their way. So during spelling bee contest, so this right here that will highlight the whole project. Um, this during the spelling bee contest, I only had three winners in the final round, and I only did for grade first grade and second grade for spelling bee contest for their sight words. I only had three winners in the final round, but I also didn't want to disappoint the other scholars who worked very hard, and they really did. They really did work very hard, and I can see the disappointment where like they didn't get it right and they were confused and they felt bad. They should have tried much harder. But um, as being an educator, as being a teacher, um, I called like every scholars who participated and given them medal for participating in the activity. And this is a big deal right here because um, I don't want the kids to feel disappointed or feel like they didn't try enough, and it's kind of bring like disappoints their motivation to even like go further after that. So I want that's what I did was that I give each of them medal for participating and their hard work. So as a future educator, I will ensure that my kids treated with kindness, fairness, and respected. I rather as a future teacher perspective, I would rather have my scholars to get an A for trying and not giving them an F to disappoint them. I have seen multiple scholars at my school where when they get an F or a zero, they just don't care after that because they know like in the back of their mind like, oh well, you know what, I was gonna get an F and just be it, you know. So you have to, as a teacher, you have to motivate those kids. Hey, you tried, and I appreciate that you're trying, and you could do better. Instead of just giving them an F and be like, hey, you didn't try enough, that's what you get. No. So it's kind of breaks their ambition and motivation, not for to go any further to do anything. They will just not care. So as a teacher, you need to provide that support and like giving them benefit of doubt and give them a fair grade instead of giving them an F and just disappoint them. So for my next slide, let me see. Let me move this tab. All right. So for my next slide, I project outcomes. Students were learning and participating in various activities and stayed focused, stayed active during the spelling bee contest, during any questionnaires or any read out loud book. I also accomplished bringing up parents' concern about having this resource available at my school. And she did say that she will talk to the board of directors about regarding this. And I also um, told parents that, well, if you have any concerns, please reach out to the principal. I already did, but one voice is not enough. Multiple voice helps to change the school environment. Um, so I can say my outcomes are and my original goals stayed the same. Nothing changed. I didn't have enough resource to collect any data or evidence to show any changes, and but I did gather feedback from students and parents throughout like interviews during a family night, and like I said, their main concern was that bringing this resource in our in my school environment, and one of the parents stated that one of my scholar who participated in my community service, and she really took an interest in like math subject, and mom said that all she wants to do is do math at home or find a multiple ways to solve any equations. So mom was like, oh, I create a two-digit equation, addition and subtraction, and she will just sit there and just solve it. So which is a good feedback that she's taking an interest in something that she likes. I also noticed unexpected results that in certain activities they are more frequent, more effective than anticipated. Some students struggle, but some showed high improvement. But like I said, it always depends. It all depends on what technique you can use for each scholars. Some might work, some might don't. We can try something different. So always have to like open up to new ideas, new techniques. Um, some students learn in easy form, some students learn in a different way. So opening for new ideas is always good. Um, Making sure all students have fair access to resources and opportunity in one aspect as ethical consideration. Yes, like make sure all the students have access of the resources and opportunity to participate in. Go to my next slide. This is more of um, a little bit into what we did, more of literacy for perspective achievement. So, like I stated in my first slide that I had actually that number changed to 12 scholars. When I made this PowerPoint, I was doing my I was putting everything in the PowerPoint, so I forgot to change that. But I invited 12 scholars to participate, and we fourth graders read Volcanic Eruption, and while first grade and second grade read the spelling bee book. Um, I can like I see in the groups that they were communicating with each other if they had any questions, and they will come up with any questions that they will solve them together, which was good. Communication is the key, and the book of volcanic eruption was bring that insight into sort of volcanoes. Also highlighting the potential danger of active body volcano. Um, a lot of fourth graders were fascinated about the active volcano. So what we did an experiment. I don't know if you guys did it when you were in high school, but I did it. I remember I did it with my teacher. We used Mentos and Coke. And what goes when you put the Mentos and Coke and shake it, it will just builds the gas up from the bottom and it explodes because of the gas pressure. So that's what we did. We did an experiment of showing them how volcanic eruption works, and they were very fascinated about it. And they were saying that we will do it at home. I said, no, please don't. Uh, Make sure you ask your parents before you even do this, because I don't want the parents to text me one of night and said, hey, why are you teaching my kids like this in the classroom? So, and they were really fascinated about it. So, I'm happy that they took interest in this experiment. All right, so acquiring knowledge and writing. So, reading is important as writing, and to ensure that everyone takes a part in activity. I selected various scholars to read the walk-in Emerson chapters. While reading the various sections of the chapter, I I pause and ask questions and make sure that all are focused, all are participating, and remain engaged and and attentive. Um, I also ask them uh, what are their ideas regarding this question. What are their ideas about, for example, I said, how does volcanic eruption works, and they will just answer me, give me idea of and how it works, and we jot it down on our notebooks, and yeah, so like every chapters we read, I pause and I ask questions. If there are any questions, I answer them, and that's how we did it. And I also had them do an activity page in the book, where they can answer questions while we. So this is the fourth grader. So I'm moving down to the spelling bee book while they are doing an amplify. So on the same thing over here that I read, and the first and second grade scholars would um, let me restart this again. Sorry. So this right here, first and second grade, we were reading a spelling bee book, and I I give them a worksheet that they can do on Amplify to, and also like as we read, they will write answers on the worksheet, and they were really enjoying that book because of that the activity we were doing, the competition we were doing, and that actually helps them to like build confidence to go up to many people and just participate. And like I remember that back in high school, like when I had to do presentation in front of everyone, I was like scared and nervous, and that kind of like um, broke my confidence to like stand up and go in front of people and talk about things. And yeah, so that way I kind of envision that the whole thing right here was more of like building that confidence to go up to people, stand up in the stage, um, while a lot of people looking at you, and I don't want them to feel nervous or scared. So they were excited about the spelling bee contest. So yeah, and I also prepare them with the index cards that they can do at home. And I also did side works in classroom so they can learn and prepare for that competition. Here are some pictures right here. This is volcanic eruption. As they're doing it, they're writing on the paper. This is a fourth grader work. Let me go my next. All right, for my math, I did adding and subtracting two-digit numbers. Um, this was kind of like a little bit tricky because like I said, different technique works with different students. So I had to do I had to use for some scholars they were doing finger counting. There are the scholars who are doing dots on the paper. Um, I also showed them the number line technique where they can jump, move forward on when if it's an addition equation, and move backwards if it's a subtraction equation. And also I showed them counting on the blocks, and that's what they liked about counting on the blocks was easy for many students. And I also pair them in a different groups where they can communicate and help each other. And yeah, it worked very perfect in a way. But like I said, different techniques. It works with different students. So, and I intend to apply all of them as my future experience as a teacher. All right. My next slide for my writing group. Um, like I said in the other slide, that sight word for spelling bee contest. That's week 2 and 3. Um, and um, my other group was learning about volcanic eruptions. And like both groups are scholars were working different level of curriculum because I had a group of fourth graders, I had a group of first and second graders. Um, the sight words were come, down, fine, for, and funny. Um, I mean, for us, it's very easy, but for scholars who are in first and second grade, it was hard to spell it out the words. Okay, so I'll go on my next slide. Family night, most important night, family night. Um, so in my family night, I decided to host a spelling bee contest where parents can see where their kids are at and what they're struggling in and what they can do to help them support them um, in a future case. Um, the spelling bee, I didn't have any kindergartners. I did vouch for kindergartners to participate in, but not a lot of parents were approving that. So I forgot to change that. It's from first to second grade level student due to limited numbers of participating events. So we end up doing a first and second grade spelling bee contest, and parents got to see where their child is at and the potential challenges they're struggling at. And um, if we have these resources available, hopefully we do, and then we can work on that challenges later on. At the end of the program, parents had opportunity to we did a Kahoot game where parents can win prize. Um, the prizes were like gift cards, $5 gift cards from Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and they were really into this game. Everybody wanted to win the prize, so that was fun. As you can see, my picture of my scholars who are participated in the activity. I only had 3 scholars as a winner, but I end up as a teacher, you want to be fair, and that's kind of like aligns with this course um, that uh, that aligns with my definition on ethical inaction that that treat scholars with respect, fairness, um, and I really wanted um, I really wanted them to be happy, each and everyone who participated in the activity, and you can see on their faces right now that they are smiling, and that which made me happy. Um, So you can see right here, family night where they were joining in to play Kahoot game, and yeah, the participant. Um, so the aspect I found most enjoyable was the scholars were engaging and participating and in the various activities in their groups, and they were successfully engaging in a social interaction, bring out a lot of ideas, collaborated, and to find solution. And I found the students' engagement very um, in a positive way. I found the students' engagement was in positive way of it's a accomplishment. That's what I would call it. So that observing their collaboration effort, mutual assistance, ideas exchanged, and sense of significance, suggesting that these times will enhance my future professional experiences. Yeah, so I was happy that I see all these multiple groups are engaging and are doing work. And if they have any questions, they will help each other. That's part of collaboration. And um, that's something that like I feel like I accomplished throughout this whole group and throughout these 8 weeks of community service. That that I really like how they were working with each other and helping each other to helping each other to solve any issues or obstacle or challenges. The recipients, the students were very happy with my services. They were able to recognize remember the sight words, and they will use the sight word to write a sentence and a body paragraph there in their own. The fourth graders were doing the body paragraphs um, of the book we read about volcanoes. But for my first and second graders, they were using sight words to make it in a sentence. Um, we were when we were done with books. We were when we were done with books. I have them read other literacy books where they can have comprehensive vocabulary, and vocabulary was also improved. Um, so when I'm done with the chapter, I have them pick out a book and they can read. So that way they can help them to like comprehend and get their vocabulary improved. I also discovered that I have a couple of students who are multicultural, students being immigrant from various part of the world who speaks different language, and English was not their primary spoken language. And I really wanted to take a picture with them while they're doing their work. But like I said, I want to respect their boundaries and respect their uh, parents, and they didn't want to send a picture because of this whole immigration thing going on, which this is very sad. But I will not get into that. But that's another topic. But I will stay in the topic. Yeah. So I seen multiple. Two of the kids was in my group who were um, bilingual, and it was happy to see that that they were participating in my activity and joining my community service. Okay, cool. So community, this kind of overview of the community. Um, like I said in my first slide, that the event was held in our Burn Gresham neighborhood. The the primary issue was the lack of resources in majority of nearby schools. Um, the community event kind of brought out the need in the academic program in all education system, and my effort was demonstrate the significance of child's learning, adaptation, and development. In my opinion, most important thing is to the most important thing for parents is to know where the child is at. So that was the biggest thing. What grade level they are at, what they are struggling at, and so they can bring it up to the teacher and see if they can support them in their classroom. Um, the resources browse I give the parents to take home. I found multiple resources they can get voluntary tutoring for kids who are struggling, but they are not nearby the community. They are a little bit further than the communities, but at least I um, give them a browser of resources available for students who need services. Um, Also, the biggest change at my school is that expand. So my school, they're expanding their building. Um, so to offer offering their building. So if we end up getting this resource after school resource, um, that'll be great since they're expanding the building. So we will have more kids participate in this activity. But we do have resources like tutoring, music, acting, and gentlemen's club. But tutoring is not voluntary at my school, so it's paid. Um, but I will, like I said, brought it to my principal and see if we can get a volunteer tutoring at our school for kids who are struggling in various part of academic. So personal reflection. As a future educator, this community service project has revealed my skills as limitation as a future educator, highlighting the need for patience, adaptation. I learned that it's important to be aware of myself so I can see my own biases and assumptions. This is really important for making classroom. This is really important for making a classroom that is open to everyone. Um, One major ethical challenge that I faced, it was balancing my time. Like I said before, that I had two, I had a group of fourth graders and I had a group of first and second graders. They all were working different curriculum, so I had to split myself in half and provide support to everyone, um, every scholars, and and it worked out really fine. And that kind of aligns with ethical action that I want kids to be I want to provide that fair education and support for all my scholars. This project has changed how I think about teacher leadership and advocacy by showing me how important is it to work together as a team to solve any barriers or obstacles. Good teacher leaders are not just known knowledgeable educators, but also champions for the students, peers, and the broader education community. And that brings me to like every student looks up to their great teachers, and I want to be one. I had a student who looked up to me, and because I'm a fun person at work, so lot of students say, Mr. Shah, I want to be just like you. I want to be a teacher. So like lot of students look up to that teacher, and that's the reason that brings me back to my spelling bee contest. That I want to treat all my students equally. So even though they didn't um, they didn't what's the word I'm looking for participation. I want to give them an A for the participation, and that's the reason I give them a medal. And by encouraging a culture of empathy, respect, and ongoing development, I will put this realization into practices in the classroom to promote fairness, excellence in education, and teachers should actively seek feedback from students and parents, use innovative teaching practices, and advocate for legislation that support them. Yes, that is more important. I just talked about that respect and treating fair, providing um, the providing the same support for every student. Um, I'm very like um, um, more of like no kids left behind. I don't want any kids to leave behind. They will get the same uh, rich education, same treatment as every other kids. That brings me to my next question. Personal reflections. That's continued by personal. The most challenging aspect, I was frustrated the first week. Yeah, the first week of, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. And um, I was like confused because you know what? My module second is closed. Like I cannot see my module second. I don't know what happened. Like I can't even go back in there in that slot. So I didn't know what I was doing. But then, ideas generate in your head and just boom, everything just works out fine. That's how it was. I end up making a flyer poster on Dojo, and I was getting a messages throughout the day saying that, hey, my kid wants to join your community service, and which was very beneficial to parents because it was free, and kids will uh, kids were able to get that service, and they were very thankful for it. And the most excitement experience I had was by scholars who participated in the spelling bee contest, and they were very happy. You should have seen that smile on their face. Like even though some of at first they were bummed out because they didn't win, but when I called every scholars on the stage and they were just like just smiling and happy, so seeing that made me happy. Um, so I give them an A for the participation. Um, the feedback from parents was very beneficial. I even so to my I presented it to my school principal that hey, the parents' concern is that if we can get a volunteer a tutoring, if you call it, and or volunteer program that can have kids can join in so they can get after school support on the subject they are struggling in. And also, like, if you can provide any like tools that are available for students, they can do it at home. That they can do it at home. That'd be great to help them with build their vocabulary and get better on writing and math. Okay, that brings me to my next slide. Project requirements. The term service refers to like a contribution to the community. It's not tutoring. It's called um, voluntary, voluntary, providing a volunteer service in your community. Um, Service, in my view, is kind of like unchanged as long as it's performed for a benefit to the community without anticipating any form of compensation. So in my view, is that once is like something that I'm supporting. I mean, changing somebody's life pretty much. Showing these young kids that education's still here, education's never gonna change, and we are here to support you, and we are not looking for any compensation for it. So that's in my view. And the service providers perceives that they have contributed positively to the community is boost their aspiration, promotes a high standard of education. Um, Helping others is all volunteer is about. There is a lot of there is a lot of voluntary work you can find, but in education, in after school program, it's not there, not there. Unless it's like paid tutoring program that you can have your kids join in. But volunteer is all about spending your spare time um, helping others. A service like this should be available to everyone for um, so like it, so a service should be free to everyone, every scholars and um, every individual people. Uh, Also that it would like distrust the parents and the students that hey, I'm not getting this and I don't know what to do. So like voluntary service would like provide that answer for you, that academic voluntary service. Um, this program teaches participants to be adapt, flexible, satisfied, and driven to improve their own performance and the performance of those around them. It helps them to profound new skills. It brings the new skills in their dictionary, and they will adapt it and they will grow out of it. In order to complete this project, you will have to create you have to be creative and open to new ideas. And yes, in order for me to complete this project, I had to um, ha- uh, I had to bring out new different curriculum, provide new different curriculum, provide a uh, split myself in half to support uh, first and second graders, and then go back to fourth graders. But it was fascinating. It was. So I also want to bring this right here. I did a voluntary service for a scholar who was in she was in the first grade. No, second grade. Yeah, second grade. This is she's 15 now, or third. Yeah, 15 now. When I this project highlights the past service that I provided. In this picture, you see a girl named Mairani. She's 7 year old Hispanic girl. Teacher's concern was that she was struggling in her reading and writing, and she would get distracted and didn't like doing any type of academic work at school. And parents reached out to me to see if my service can help her to navigate from being distracted to more of academic loving. So I when I had her, it wasn't easy. I kind of observed her, what she was doing, if she's getting it. Then I came up with the different techniques. Um, I used to use this saving cream technique to do a sidewards, and she really liked doing that. As you can see in that picture right here, she liked doing the saving cream, and you can see right here that she's getting it, like she's learning. Um, oh, I'm sorry, she's 13-year old now. Um, but right now, like if I go talk to her, she says she wants to be a teacher in the future and help kids who are struggling. As for academic growth is amazing. I provided a free service to help her gain knowledge and fluency in math and science. And I also did a free tutoring service at Westmont Public Library. And I contributed my time to help her because I want her to be successful. And yeah, she wants to be a teacher. Like I said, every scholar, there are some scholars who look up to their teachers, and especially one who are struggling. And she was struggling in every subject because she's bilingual. At home, she speaks Spanish, and it was hard for her to manage manage English. There's a new language for her, and she was not getting it because of I don't know what kind of curriculum they were using at her school. But as you can see in these photos, like she's doing it. We started with her spelling out her name. That's her amazing drawing right here. So this is the binder that I had her lesson plans and all her work in their binder. And you can see she's very happy doing the sight words on the saving cream method. And then from that, we move to fluency where we are learning about the words. And this was like 3 years ago. No, not 3 years ago. I would say 6 years ago. I'm sorry. Time is flying. Yeah, 6 years ago. There are more pictures right here. I did a 2 year a volunteer community service at Westmont Public Library, where I have scholars who come in and I provide a free service. I wanted to build my resume, so I end up doing it after work from 4 to 5, and Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So that's 3 hours a week. And as you can see, if she moved from the sideways to like writing. So what I did was I'll print out a picture of what she did and she'll write about it on the paper. And that kind of helped her to in writing, especially. So um, so she can have confidence of writing in her future classroom, right? Let's see. There's more pictures of she's doing her work. She's reading here. She's doing fluency right here. She's writing words, sight words. Um, as you can see right here, there are multiple. I made an index card of every spelling words that she can read. Um, yeah, so it was amazing seeing her grow now, and she wants to be a teacher, and I'm very excited about her. Um, she grew out so much. All right, so these are my references. That brings me to my end of the presentation. I got all the information, all some of the information from this websites right here. I would recommend, highly recommend, to use these websites to help your to navigate your PowerPoint if you want to use that information. But yeah, that's it. So this is probably gonna be a long video for somebody who's gonna watch. So I would say grab a popcorn or a coffee or there and sit back and just look at this amazing, powerful point. All right, so I'll end it here. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys like my PowerPoint, and I wish you nothing but the best holidays. Thank you.